In 2015, Supermassive Games came out with a chilling interactive survival game, Until Dawn, which Sony Computer Entertainment released. Writers Larry Fessenden and Graham Resnick wrote the story, wanting to make it like a slasher film. In this game, a player needs to ensure the 8 characters in the game survive the horrific incidents happening in and around the Washington Loop atop Blackwood Pines Mountain. The game is based on the principles of the butterfly effect, wherein each time the player makes a choice, the story takes a different turn, making room for the characters to either survive and move on or die. The game's player provides an outsider's perspective who's tasked to constantly look for clues to save or kill the characters, thus going deeper into solving the mystery. The game was well received, and sales soared to a new high. When such a fun and popular game is adapted into a movie, the task is Herculean to match all the winning elements from the game into the movie. David F. Sandberg directed the movie, which Gary Dauberman and Blair Butler wrote. Once the film was released in April 2025, fans instantly spotted the myriad differences between the game and the movie. Were the differences for the good or the bad? Let's take a look. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The 10 key differences can be seen across categories, the first being story. Number 1. Story and structure. In the game, there are 8 protagonists who attend a party hosted by the twin sisters Beth and Hannah and their brother Josh. Hannah becomes the victim of a cruel prank played by her friends and runs into the woods. Rattled by her sister's reaction, Beth follows her sister into the woods, where an unknown and unseen masked person chases them. Terrified, both sisters run for their lives until they realize they've reached the edge of a cliff. In a moment of extreme fear, they fall from the cliff into a tree branch, but eventually slip and disappear. There's a mystery as to whether they're dead or alive. The movie's story takes place after the missing incident, but it has no connection with the disappearance of the twin girls. Here, a girl named Melanie has gone missing, which compels her sister Clover and her 4 friends to look for her in a remote valley called the Glore Valley. In the game, there's a time-lapse of a year wherein the friends attend a party hosted by the missing twin sister's brother Josh. In the movie, there's no mention of how Melanie disappeared, but in the game, the disappearance of the twin sister is clearly outlined, setting the threat much earlier in the story. Structure-wise, the narrative in the game moves chronologically and sequentially, where the friends are killed one by one. At the same time, the story in the movie follows a cyclical narrative, wherein Clover and her friends enter a deadly time loop, where they have to relive the fateful evening repeatedly to meet their death from a different killer. Every night they die and time is set up again. A date keeps flashing, 24 Saturday, which could be a clue indicating it was the same date Melanie had disappeared. Unlike the game, where the story begins with a party filled with banter and light moments before taking a serious turn, the movie has fewer fun moments, where Clover and her friends are on a road trip to retrace the steps of her missing sister. Unlike the game, the movie's time loop setup gives a sense of repetition, while the game seems more enthralling due to the choices offered. The movie is not so much about choices as it is about escape from the valley. The story's protagonist is Clover, who's invested due to a personal agenda, unlike her friends who get unnecessarily wound up in this deadly time loop. In the game, every character stayed invested due to a personal attack coming their way. Each of the characters was accountable.
Nobody's made it past 13 nights.
Number 2. Setting. The game's setting is based on an annual winter getaway hosted by the twin sisters Hannah and Beth and their brother Josh at the Washington Lodge on the Black Pines Mountains. The whole setting is eerie and leads to a horror setup. In the movie, the landscape used is in a remote Glore Valley, and the lodge is a visitor center. In my opinion, the valley setup diluted the horrifying tone of the movie. Despite being the most used trope, a snowy, misty setup has always been the mainstay of any horror story, which, however, got sucked out from the movie until the climax, where we get a glimpse of a snow-clad mountain. Other props in the game, such as the entire dollhouse that Ashley and Chris find, were replaced by Glore Valley Hotel in the movie. In the game, Hannah and Beth own the dollhouse, where their brother Josh places dolls with bloodied eyes to reconstruct the prank played on his sister Hannah. On finding the dollhouse, they see the bloody dolls. Ashley guessed Hannah's ghost had kept it there, making it even more eerie. This is before it's revealed that Josh was behind creating a horror-like situation in the lodge. On the other hand, the Glore Valley Hotel is where Clover and her 4 friends take shelter due to the rain. They were also guided there by Dr. Hill, the gas station attendant. While inside the hotel, they realize it was haunted. The movie replaces the snowy mountains by using rainstorms and thunderstorms. Number 3. Main characters. As previously mentioned, the game has 8 lead characters, including 3 siblings, and the rest are couples and friends. The movie shows an entirely separate set of characters, 5 friends including the protagonist Clover. Characters that are common to both are the psychiatrist Dr. Hill and the monster Wendigos. Dr. Hill's character in the game is far more subdued than in the movie, where he's the main antagonist who leverages people's fears and traumas. The predators or villains used in the movie are similar in some parts, but the order in which they attack is different. For instance, the masked monster with protruding teeth and bulging eyeballs chases Clover and friends in the first attack, and in the game, it chases Hannah and Beth to death. The Wendigos, although terrifying, are smaller creatures in the game than the mighty ones used in the film. Another important character is that of the Stranger, who appears in the game to help and tell the gang about the Wendigos. He's the only good Samaritan in the game's web of evil. His presence, though, is fleeting. There's no such good person in the movie willing to help Clover and her friends. Number 4. Masked Predator. Remember the stranger who chased the twins Hannah and Beth through the woods? He's unseen and unknown. Later in the game, when Josh confesses to being the masked man attacking the group, I wondered if he was also the one who chased his own sisters, and was that why he was not of sound mental health? It's a theory again. In the film, though, the masked man has no past, present, or future, just a version of Clover's fears.
I wonder how much these sessions are of any help to you now.
Number 5. Symbolic Hidden Meanings. An interesting difference is the presence of Dr. Hill, a psychiatrist, interviewing a patient in the game. As he interviews, the story unfolds, and the room where Dr. Hill conducts the interview begins to become scarier and run down. The change in the scenario is due to the choices made by the gamer, with its 8 characters which, in the end, we learn are manifestations of the interviewee's fears. This kind of indication whether the situation is improving or deteriorating is absent in the movie. In the movie, the night keeps getting rebooted into the same day. Why? Because it was a time loop puzzle solving of which largely rested on Clover. As they near the last night, Clover discovers an escape when she understands that she needs to find closure in accepting the trauma in her life, including her mother's death and her sister going missing. Once she accepts, she overcomes her fears and escapes the realm. In the game, there's no escape. The gamer only makes choices on behalf of the character. Each one of the characters in the game is a protagonist who moves the story forward.
Every night something new is trying to kill us.
Number 6. Variety of threats. In the game, the main threat comes from the Wendigo, who were humans but became monsters after resorting to cannibalism. The movie, however, has various villains including a masked man, ghosts, poisonous water, worms, and the mighty Wendigo, making the horror experience fragmented.
That's it. Come on, let's go.
Number 7. The Wendigo's role and appearance. While the Wendigo is common to both the game and the movie, the definitions are different. In the game, the Wendigos are monsters who have infested the Black Mountain, who are humanoid turned cannibals. In the movie, Dr. Hill had a different definition. According to him, when he came to the valley to perform experiments on the survivors of the mining accident in 1952, he figured that these survivors, due to the accumulation of their trauma and the darkness of the elusive, never-ending night, had slowly turned into monsters, the Wendigos.
And I hope for your sake, Joshua, that you can find redemption.
Number 8. Dr. Hill's function. In the game, Dr. Hill is a psychiatrist whose role is connected with Josh's character. In the game, he interviews an unknown person as the story unfolds. He's also the only character who speaks to each character, seeing their fear limits and warning them of the impending danger in their lives. Later, we figure Dr. Hill is interviewing Josh Washington, the brother of the twin sisters who had orchestrated the party after a year to catch his friends red-handed. He'd suspected them of killing his sisters, but when a real threat confronts him, the Wendigo, he loses his mental balance, revealing that everything so far was the result of his hallucinations of his psychiatrist, Dr. Hill. In the movie, Dr. Hill is an ambiguous character who's an attendant at a gas station, an observer, and someone who orchestrates the happenings around the characters. He knows everything and shows supernatural tendencies. He's the one who guides Clover and her friends into the dollhouse, where they enter a time loop, reliving the horror of a significant date, the 24th. In the movie, Dr. Hill has a more profound role, where he traps visitors in a time loop, witnessing how their fears and traumas come to life in the realm of nightmares. Number 9. Tone and genre approach. The game oscillates from thrilling psychological jump scare moments, leaving the choice to the gamer to make it either gruesome or a game of survival. There are extreme slasher moments when the masked man gives Chris an option to save Ashley or Josh. Josh's killing is horrific, with his body cut in half and his insides all out. It's bone-chilling to watch. Although a game, there are emotional moments seen in Josh's yearning for his missing sisters and his fragile mental state. He's suffering. Another emotional moment in the game is when Hannah, who is turned into a Wendigo, captures Josh. The choice is with the gamer whether she kills him or leaves him after recognizing him. The game belongs to the horror genre, following a tonality of emotions. The movie belongs to the horror genre, following a tonality of emotions. The movie, conversely, borders on horror, psychological, and to some extent, sci-fi due to the time loop concept. I found it a tad confusing and too layered for its approach. I think the movie tries its best to make up for the game's interactive feature. Also, why veil Dr. Hill's character as a gas station attendant when he could be a caretaker of the dollhouse? The game's poster matches the tonality of the game and is a nerve-wracking image of a skull forming the upper part of an hourglass, depicting the ticking clock on one's life. The movie's poster is a noose around a heap of skulls, symbolizing the death knell.
I can't.
Number 10. Connection to the gamer's universe. The movie Sue has drawn inspiration from the game, but isn't an adaptation. It follows an entirely different storyline with new characters. The movie's climax is said to hint at the movie being a prequel to the game. Here's a theory. Clover's sister Melanie is said to have disappeared while staying at a strange hotel. Was this hotel the Washington Lodge as shown in the game? If yes, then what follows is literally the whole game. It also makes me wonder if the Washingtons were privy to the haunted peculiarities of the lodge. Then it justifies Josh's role in orchestrating the scares when he invites his friends over on the anniversary of his sisters going missing. But if that strange hotel wasn't the lodge, then the concept of a prequel ceases to exist. Marvelous verdict. The verdict is out. Until Dawn the movie bears very little similarity to the game except in tiny parts. Historically, movies adapted from games such as G.I. Joe or Mortal Kombat were runaway hits since the makers stayed true to the storyline, keeping in mind the huge franchise. In my opinion, the makers of the movie Until Dawn wanted to expand their audience and not just cater to the fans, thus estimating an upside if the movie did well, currently running in theaters. However, since fans felt Until Dawn movie as a prequel, there's hope, and I can't wait to see what's coming next. Until then, keep watching this space for more. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.